is enough said.
What's up, Heat Nation? Your boy Ernest here, back with another Miami Heat Talk video. Video number 2 of the day, you guys. You know you're getting updates anytime anything goes on. Now together, we're going to rock and roll on another Miami Heat Talk adventure because I got a great update for you guys today. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. You guys really appreciate the support. Now, it was reported earlier today by ESPN, Kevin Slidery, Kevin O'Connor, many different reports out there are coming out and that are stating that the Miami Heat may be looking to lower their asking price to trade for Jimmy Butler. I'm going to read you guys a quote, actually multiple quotes, but one of these quotes was for Brian Windhorst. Now look, Brian Windhorst, 50-50. A lot of the stuff that he says may be true, maybe not true, but one thing I will say about Brian Windhorst, he does work directly with the NBA. He has a lot more information than the casual fan knows. He hears things and he's told things that a lot of us don't know. So if he says something live on TV and ESPN, I mean, whatever you feel about him, your ears got to perk up and you got to listen, especially when he's talking about this Jimmy Butler situation. Now, it was stated that Brian Windhorst indicated that the Miami Heat may attach a low asking price for Jimmy Butler leading up to the February 6th trade deadline. Now, this is a quote from Brian Windhorst. I'm not saying this is going to for sure happen. I'm not predicting what's going to happen. So he's covering his tracks. But I do think some teams that thought they were out of this are coming back in because it doesn't look like the Suns and the Heat are going to be able to consummate a deal. I think we might see a team swoop in here and get Jimmy Butler at a cheap price. A guy who can be the best player in a playoff series at a bargain price. And I think that's the phase of this is where it's at. This could be a trade that affects the outcome of this season. End quote. It was also reported by Kevin O'Connor that the Golden State Warriors are one of several teams back in the mix for Jimmy Butler now that the Heat have lowered their asking price. Now look, do I really believe that the Miami Heat have lowered their asking price? They could. This drama, this situation could be so bad that the Miami Heat are just looking to get rid of Jimmy Butler. But I will say this, the Miami Heat have an offer on the table. They can trade Jimmy Butler for Bradley Beal's crap contract, and they could get multiple first-round draft picks. The draft picks are trash, to be honest with you guys, but it's multiple first-round draft picks. You can use them as assets later on. Maybe attach it to a Terry Rozier trade, attach it to a Duncan Robinson trade. So it could work. But one thing I know that the Miami Heat will not do is take a contract that passes the 2026 offseason. Because in the 2026 offseason, you guys, and I say this all the time, this is a huge year for the Miami Heat. You will potentially have Jimmy Butler, Duncan Robinson, and Terry Rozier's contracts off your books, giving you about $80 million in cap space. Along with Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero, Kel'el Ware, Jaime Jaquez Jr., Nikola Jovic, and these boys, that can be very appeasing for a couple of big-time players to come to this team. So the Heat are trying to keep flexibility for the 2026 offseason. Now, how would they do that is by trading for players whose contracts don't pass the 2026 offseason. Now, I've mentioned in the past, you guys, and we've heard this before, there's been multiple teams that Jimmy Butler's wanted to be traded to. The reason why that the Phoenix Suns are the option number 1 is because they can do a straight-up trade for Bradley Beal, and they're willing to give Jimmy Butler the contract he wants. Golden State is another team that I've mentioned in the past that can probably give Jimmy Butler that contract as well. But Steph Curry, Steve Kerr, and Draymond Green have all come out and said that the Golden State Warriors should not sell the farm to win now. Maybe they don't have to do that. Maybe they don't have to attach Jonathan Kuminga, Andrew Wiggins, multiple players. The Miami Heat are a first apron team. The Golden State Warriors are not in the apron. So the Golden State Warriors can take back more money as long as it leaves them under the second apron. So you can have a trade surrounding Andrew Wiggins, maybe not Jonathan Kuminga. Maybe you can add another piece or two here or there, and you can get that trade done. Maybe all Golden State has to do is Andrew Wiggins, another player, and a first-round draft pick. Those numbers will work. Jimmy Butler can come in, and he can help them with a playoff push. There's also a team like Memphis, who I've been mentioning now for over a month. The Memphis Grizzlies are the perfect team for Jimmy Butler. They are the top 4 seed in the Western Conference. They have great players. They have a great number 1 in Ja Morant. Jimmy does not have to do what he's done for the Miami Heat in the playoffs. He can come in, fill in a role, and they can contend for a championship. Now, it's been reported that Jimmy Butler doesn't want to go to Memphis, but Jimmy doesn't have a no-trade clause, so whatever he wants doesn't really matter. All that matters is the team that's taking him. They can view Jimmy as a 1-year rental, get his number off their books for next season, or if you're a team like Phoenix or another team like Golden State, you can trade for Jimmy with the agreement that you're going to give him a contract extension. Steph Curry, Draymond Green, they're pretty much around the same age as Jimmy Butler. You can ride this momentum for another year or two if you're Golden State, and Steph can ride off into the sunset while the team is competing for a championship. I think that the Miami Heat potentially asking for a lower price is definitely a possibility. Does it happen or not, you guys? Only time will tell. Jimmy Butler suspended. He's suspended until the trade deadline. That's why the Heat did this. Did they push Jimmy Butler to act out in practice so they can do the suspension? Did they tell him that he was not going to start, knowing that he's una tremendo dramática persona and that he just would create this problem? Who knows? But the fact is, he's suspended. He will not play with the Miami Heat until the trade deadline, which means it's not going to cause a possibility of him getting injured on the basketball court. So this gives Miami flexibility. They have until February 6th, guys. That's next week. The Heat can just sit back, relax, and wait for the trade offers to come in. I guarantee you guys, there will be a team, even if it takes until the last second, there will be a team desperate enough to trade for Jimmy Butler. A team that's in the middle of the tier, but they just need that one player to help them get to that next level, or a contending team that can view Jimmy Butler as the piece to help them win a championship. But I feel, you guys, that next week you're going to see teams get desperate. You're going to see teams move this further. The Heat don't have to make this trade right now. They can just sit back and wait. And that's what I would recommend that they do. Because why are you going to rush this trade if you can't get a good value like you think you can get? So if you have to wait until February 4th, February 5th, February 6th even, I'm cool with that. Because I think this Miami Heat youth movement team we have, these next 3 games we got coming up against Cleveland, San Antonio, and Chicago, we can win 2 out of those 3 games. I'm confident in that. So I'm cool with what we have. I'm cool with waiting, because sometimes patience is a virtue. So Heat Nation, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think the Miami Heat should pull the trigger right now and take a lower asking price? Or do you think like me? Wait it out. See how these teams act. Because for all you know, 1 to 2 teams can throw a Hail Mary at the 11th hour. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the channel. We're pushing to 6,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. Until next time, unless there's any other updates today, but until next time, your boy Ernest out. That's enough said. Let's go Heat.